Well, hello, Bob Dandry here, and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, The Long Game. So, last episode we did a lot of work around Laredo, getting that really conflicting sort of movement sorted out. And today we're going to continue working on clearing up some of the busier parts of our network. And today we're going to be focusing on this little bit of corridor between LA, Santa Rosa, and then obviously Peoria Bank, where we're looking right now. Now, as you can see, we've got a lot of traffic backing up here. And really, it all comes down to Santa Rosa Station itself. It's a little bit out of the way, and we have trains unloading here. We've got trains stopping here, movements across tracks, things like that, to serve the passenger side as well. And it's really causing most of the issue here with all of this backup. And today, we're actually going to be bypassing Santa Rosa. So obviously over here in the past, we've had trains run around sort of the rear of Santa Rosa in LA and basically do that as part of bypassing Peoria Bank. And we did cut that off a little bit because it was causing issues here around Laredo. Now, I think what we're going to do, we aren't going to keep specifically, I'm thinking of the Cross River Main Line. We're not going to keep those going around the Peoria bypass, but we will have them run on this quad set of tracks and use those to, I guess, get themselves into a better position and not clog up this little corridor through Santa Rosa. So that's what we're going to first of all work on. Now, we do need to make sure that we're not going to have existing lines sort of clogging this up. I think we're okay. I think we have built in somewhat. So that only needs to be one way. We're okay with that. I don't think anyone stops on this track. It doesn't look like they do. So it looks like we're pretty good to simply punch our Cross River freight trip train through in the other direction. Looks like everything's connected up for that to be supported as well. And then, so they will come through this set of tracks, which I believe we don't have any stops on those either. No, we do not. And then we can pretty much just have them run onto this relief line that we haven't really been using all that much. So let's go manage line. And after LA, what we're going to do is have them run through this here. And that should clear up one direction there. Of course, it's going to take a while because we've got quite a few that are already sitting or on their way through, like this big guy over here who has 280 units of fuel. But for anything else going up there from now, they should be heading in the opposite direction. I'm not entirely sure what you're doing. It says you should be going to LA. Now you're going to Laredo North. I don't really understand. I think we might have broken him a little bit, but that should be fixed up now. And we should hopefully expect to see some of this sort of freight starting to pick up a little bit and go via this relief track that, once again, we weren't really using all that much since we built our bypass, but it should be starting to come back in as a popular sort of pass-through. Other than that, everything's looking pretty good. We've got a few slowdowns here, but that's just because of some of our Cross River trip trains sort of getting stuck and doing stuff. Other than that, it looks like we're pretty good. Here's something interesting for you. We never put in any sort of public transport within Peoria. So we're going to quickly fix that now. We should have room for a bus stop right here outside of our main entrance. So we will get that in. And then we've got quite a bit of ground to cover, if I'm honest. We have two sort of main nodes of residential. We've got, obviously, there's some right near the station around here, but we've got a fair bit on the other side and then some over sort of going up the hill here as well. So we'll probably aim to get into main sort of networks here. So we'll have a common stop over there, and then we will have our buses sort of work their way down in this sort of direction if we can get one in anyway. We will need to probably put a new connection in here because otherwise we're literally going to have to drive through our stop, which isn't really a great sort of vibe, is it? So in fact, what I might do, let's see. We'll pull this back and we'll join up with this. I'm not sure where this T has come from, but we're going to use it as part of this, I guess. Like so. We will upgrade that. Yes, it's going to cause some buildings to be removed, or only one actually. That's a pretty decent outcome there. And then we might connect up this road and just punch it through as well. Once again, that's going to cause some houses to be removed, but they should hopefully build back pretty quickly there. And then everything is just a bit weird here. We've got a few sort of options to connect up, but nothing has ended up connecting up. So what I'll do, we'll get rid of that connection there, and I see the problem. It's that it's sort of remaining level. So we will see if we can connect up like so. We don't need a bridge there. That can just build or fill out a little bit. And then hopefully we can reconnect there, though it doesn't look like we're going to be able to. I think we can still fix it though. We might just need to push back a little bit. Oh, too much slope. Very interesting. But if we pull it around to there, it's fine. We'll fill it in once again. And I might do just a little bit of smoothing here while we're at it. So hopefully by making some of these changes, we should be able to invite a little bit more growth in this sort of sector of the community. But now that that's done, after I do just a little bit more smoothing here, let's finish off creating this bus route. Okay, and for our second route, we will head sort of over into this direction, and we'll just do a little bit of a loop here and then back. In fact, I will move this stop and to better facilitate the loop connection. And we probably do want to put an additional one that will sort of just head to the bottom of the screen and maybe up this road here as well. Because once again, it's important not just to be covering off your residential with public transport, but also your industries as well. Because obviously people want to get to work and they can't if they can't, right? And then they'll be hopping on or hopping into their car and things like that. So definitely public transport is a good thing. To sum it up, I guess. Yeah, we're still wanting to head through there, which I don't particularly like. This has made some weird decisions, to be honest. This little route that we've set up here. It's doing some weird stuff, but who cares? Let's just see how it goes. And we'll set up a new line. And let's get a third one. Could have sworn I set up another stop. Obviously I didn't, so yeah, it is what it is. And let's get some buses purchased to run on this. All right, and let's see how that will go. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of, I guess, demand, and hopefully that will allow P area to grow a little bit more. Obviously, we've got a little bit of land here that we could definitely fill out if people want to move in. And I think it'll make the whole town and city look a little bit cooler. And we do have a few F7s that I think it's time to retire. These are the ones that are running on our Cross River freight trip train. Obviously, we did like these because they did give us a little bit higher top speed to really take advantage of, I guess, the grunt that those that the F7s have, and really set these up as sort of almost high-speed type freights. But the F7's time in the sun is pretty much over now. So what we're going to do, we're going to manage our vehicles and, yeah, put in a few replacements. So I want to replace all of the F7s, which is actually quite a few at this point. SD9s will probably be the next replacement we make, but probably not quite yet. So we're going to follow the same sort of idea we've had with our previous trains we've put onto this line. We will add a few boxcars on the front to give us that higher capacity for what is really the majority of the goods that we can transport, and then have container cars for the rest. So we're going to be running with some GE C32.8s. These are a form of Dash 8. And let's see if we can go with just double heading them. I think we should be fine, but we will have a look obviously and see how it's going to end up. So we're staying at a good level with these, so that's pretty good. So I think based on that, we're fine with just the two. These are actually fairly uncommon, these particular C32.8 type of locomotive, but obviously we are getting like 10 of them, which I think was more than were actually produced in real life. But hey, it is what it is. We're going to work with what we've got. And yeah, these should give us a big boost in terms of the speed these trains can run at, and also how fast they can speed up to run at that higher top speed as well. So yeah, excited to see what we can do with these. And so we're hitting pretty much 100 k's an hour on these in, well, I mean, not a lot of time whatsoever. So yeah, really happy to see that that higher top speed and that higher, amount of grunt we've got there really being put to work. Look at that, going up to almost 110 now. So yeah, that should be good, and these should hopefully fly up Peria Bank as well to get everyone moving where they need to go. Yeah, we definitely need to be increasing the amount of paper we're transporting. I think our current train, which is literally just leaving Spokane West now, yeah, 342. Where obviously this is also acting as a bit of a feeder back to Lafayette, which also has that paper plant over there. So we're doing double duty, I guess. It's not, I was going to say it's not the most efficient way of doing things, but it's probably okay, to be honest, because I mean, we're not doing anything else with the paper, so we may as well ship it if we need it. But Spokane Goods Factory is actually, it's not going too bad, but it's not producing anything right now, is it? Which is interesting. So I wonder why that is. in any case, yeah, we'll get another train on to run this as well. We'll continue to use these C32s for the moment until we, obviously, if we unlock any newer, better locomotives, we'll switch across to those. But these are fine for the moment. I don't really have any issue with that. And we will just continue using these boxcar. I know they're auto parts boxcars, which obviously we're not transporting, but I quite like them. So we're going to run with them there. So we'll get that one purchased and running on the line. We've also got our Dayton to Roseville passenger line, which is still running on some old NYSC. We were running them as F9s, though they are actually F7s in the game. And I think we will get those switched across to some new dedicated Amtrak stock as well. So we've got these F40PHs, which are coming in as, well, they're quite high speed. And these were purchased by Amtrak for shorter distance routes, which, well, that's what we're looking at here. This is a shorter distance route. It's not one of our main lines. It's only servicing sort of a handful of towns. So I think it's a perfect place that we can get these F40PHs slotted in. And I'm hoping we can get away with just using the one as well. Let's have a look and see how long it's going to take them to get up to a speed. And I reckon we probably need to double head them based on that. So that should be hopefully able to get us up to the sort of speed we need to be. Yeah, so that's a little bit better there. So I'm happy with that. I don't think we can get another car in there. We can, in fact. So that's pretty good. So these are nice 480 capacity. I think that does increase it a little bit. So let's get those replaced. And across our fleet, yeah, we've got probably about 350 extra capacity. So actually really quite a good increase there. And let's see how these go running the F40PHs. We're starting to see quite a few sort of passengers building up on our Chandler to Roseville via Fullerton line, especially here at Salem. I guess that's probably partially driven by the increased importance of Salem Station due to our suburban loops that we're running. And over in Fullerton, quite massive numbers as well. San Francisco as well. And it looks like Flint and Cedar Rapids are not quite as busy, but I reckon we're probably in a good position to increase the frequency here quite a bit more. Hang on, where are we? We're over here. So let's have a look. Our current frequency is 13 minutes. That's probably not great, is it? So we can definitely do that a bit better. We also have this old New Haven EP5 that probably needs to be replaced as well. It's probably not a great train to be running, I believe, in real life, and I think I covered this when I bought it. They had a habit of exploding, so we'll probably switch that one out and also get another 3 to 4 additional trains running here. Now the GF6 could be a good option here. These are significantly faster than our Bud Metro liners we have been running, and I think it probably makes sense for us to get them in. If we have a look here, actually not significantly faster at all, but they've got quite a bit more power, which is going to be probably something important if we want to be, once again, trying to increase the speed at which these trains are running. So probably Amfleet is probably fine for the moment. We will pop these up to 240 meters. As you can see, it's still looking pretty damn fine, if I don't say so myself. We could double them up, potentially, to make it even better, but we actually don't have a reversed locomotive, unfortunately, so we'll probably just stick with the one then. These actually take quite a while to speed up to their top speed. It looks like up to 3 minutes, even though they're only just popping down to mediocre, which is interesting because we've definitely had trains that were far closer to poor that were speeding up a lot quicker than that. But potentially it's just the luck of the draw with these being where are my words? being passenger. I guess, I don't know. But yeah, we've got that in, and it seems to be maintaining the same speed it was doing before. That is good. And we'll also get another 4 of these, I think. And if we look at our line, that's going to increase our frequency to 9 minutes. Still not fantastic, but obviously that should hopefully allow us to carry more passengers from these really quite congested stations. I am seeing a little bit of slowdown around San Francisco, and it's caused by our passenger trains stopping here and holding up some of the freight trains that are using it. There's not really any need for most of our freight trains to use that. We can probably actually have them bypass and run on these freight tracks. I'm going to give it a go and see how it runs. But I think it should be fairly simple for us to take this track here and basically do sort of a bit of a junction-ish thing, like so. And have them sort of bypass the tunnel, link up to this pair of tracks here. And we can basically join those up in 2 ways, really. We can join them up across here. And then if we quickly chuck this on pause and see who is actually heading in this direction, you are, so you're important to, I guess, entertain or whatever. So wait for that to pass through, for that one to pass through, I should say. And then we should be able to cut off this connection here and have it run through this pair of tracks that we've put through there. Should be able to connect this pair as well. So we're almost there. Alright, so we should be able to disconnect these now. And 2 things we're going to do. We will pop these tracks back into our main. And then we will connect these up here as well. And I'm thinking that should fix everything that's broken. Apparently not. Is that just because one train is a bit unsure of what to do? Wait, where are you? Sorry. It's because you already made your way through. We should be able to turn it around though. And it should pretty much be okay, right? We can just do a sneaky connection somewhere just to force it onto the tracks like so. This is just a temporary connection. But what we will do is hopefully discourage anyone else from making a connection like that. Oh, and we're mutually blocked, of course. Classic. We should be able to... Okay. Once this jumps through there, we should be able to disconnect this little monstrosity, though apparently things are still unhappy. Why? Just stop going that way. Far out. We will reconnect this. Now, what are we going to do with you then? We might actually just be able to turn you around, alright? No? I reckon if we do this, you'll do what you're told. Apparently not. Oh, because of course you're not going there. You're going over here. What if we do a little double slip like so? Oh, man. This one. Okay, cool. Fixed. We've worked out what we're doing. Now we're over here at Richmond, and I would like to expand our tram network here in Richmond a little bit. The tram network is pretty much only on the top half of the town as we're looking right now. I'm okay with that. We have pretty much full coverage over this side, though we do have a few residences here that aren't covered by public transport. And I think we're just going to leave that for the moment. I would like to focus on getting more coverage over this sort of major side, because we've got massive amounts of residences that aren't covered. So pretty much this whole segment here that we're looking at. So I think we will set up a line to sort of head down the waterfront pretty much, and then loop around and come back. We will get tram tracks running as well. So we'll sort of plan out where things are going to go from there. Then we'll do a little bit of a loop, and then we'll come back. Okay, cool. And we've got coverage on both sides already. Cool. All right, so let's get a new line set up. Beautiful. And what, this will be Richmond number 3? No, only number 1. Okay. Number 2, I should say. And we should hopefully see some of our citizens using this new route we've set up for them. I'm noticing our silver mine station is starting to once again get a little bit overloaded. So we might see if we can upgrade the capacity of our silver trains to hopefully allow us to, ship a bit more of that silver, because it is quite a lucrative sort of commodity to be taking around. And yeah, it doesn't make sense for us to be leaving 1,200 tons or units of it anyway, sitting at this station. So let's have a look. At the moment, as you can see, we've got 4 trains running here. We do have some GP7s, which I'm going to take the opportunity to replace. These are very high capacity, so I don't even know if we can increase this or if we're actually going to be dropping it down when we replace it with something new. But the thing is that these vehicles, obviously the GP7s are quite old. They have a lower top speed, and it's probably, they've got a poor power rating as well. So it's taking them quite a long time to speed up. So first of all, we're going to get these replaced. Once again, we're aiming for, I think it's 700 and something. Capacity 759, which is a massive capacity. I don't even know how we've got that much, if I'm completely honest. We have unlocked some more Dash 8s as well, which different variety. As you can see, we've got a bit more power here. So we might get some of these running. Get a couple of Conrail locomotives and just see what we can do now. So we do have these 50-foot mill gondolas. And let's see what we can do with 480 meters. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to do a massive amount. It's not too bad, to be honest. And we're going to get up to speed a lot quicker. So it is going to allow us to increase the throughput. So I may as well go ahead and do this. We might even consider getting an additional locomotive on here, which I'm going to do, just to allow us to speed up that a little bit quicker as well. Because we do have issues on this sort of section of our network here, especially with our silver trains pulling out from here and slowing things down. So we'll go ahead and we will just add an additional locomotive on there. Well, it's been a while since we've had the opportunity to ride on a light rail vehicle, so we might hop aboard our new Richmond line that we've set up and, yeah, just have a look at the town and see how it looks. Hope you enjoy. Okay, and we're arriving back at Richmond Station. So this isn't a heaps popular route at the moment. I think we could see that there were pretty much no one on board the whole time. In any case, I think it's still a pretty key part of our public transport system and our strategy here in Richmond, so I'm happy with it on that basis. Well, that is going to be out all we have time for in this episode. I am noticing my computer is starting to struggle a lot playing this game. Obviously, we've got a lot of custom assets that are now out in the wild. Those tend to have pretty big try counts if the person who made it is wanting to put together a really cool looking train, which does stress my GPU and CPU. As I've said a few times, I'm running a pretty high-end setup. I'm running a 5950X as my CPU and a 4090 now as a GPU, and I mean, it's still struggling. So that shows you, I guess, that this game probably isn't the most, optimized that it could be. And probably some of the assets we're using as well aren't as optimized as they could be either. But it is what it is. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you get a ding to your device the next time I post a video. You can find links to all my social media in the description, so please jump on there, like, follow, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff. A big shout out to my Founders Club patrons, Caleb and Isaiah. Thank you so much to the two of you for helping to make this content possible. But until next time, I'm Bob Dendry. This is Transport Fever 2, The Long Game. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.